First up, we would like to welcome Amanda Chansingh and Marissa Bunze, who co-teach integrated ELA for grades 6 through 8 at North Babylon Middle School. Amanda and Marissa will be sharing their co-created digital space. Amanda and Marissa, we will share your slides for you, so just let us know when you want to advance to the next.
Hi, everyone. So to start off, a little background. When this all first started, when we were home and we were like, okay, what's going to happen with education? It was difficult to plan. And Marissa and I went back and forth. We were speaking every single day. We were working with all 3 grade levels. I teach, we both teach 6 through 8. And it was very difficult. So the second week of remote learning, we took a step back and I attended a webinar. And in that webinar, they were like, let's take it slow, right? So that's what we did. We set out a plan and we said we'd meet every Monday and we'd plan the agenda for the week given that Monday. So having some sort of structure and just like you would in school, having a time to meet and plan is important, because I think as we're home, we're kind of like overdoing it. We're calling every day, doing everything at the same time, and it becomes overwhelming. So we have to give ourselves time allocated, and a time allocated agenda. So we used the Mindful Mondays to activities to kind of give us some breathing space, so we know that every Monday has been taken care of. So that Monday we plan for the next, for the Tuesday and the next coming week. And you can change the slide. So we use the at-home learning agenda, and as you see, it's very simple because parents are reading this and they're feeling overwhelmed with the amount of work that teachers are giving out. And reading the instructions is very important for them. So if you keep that in mind, we try to minimize the amount of words, and you'll see we have Mindful Monday, we did a diary for them. So this is and if you see on Thursday and Wednesday, these activities are linked to the Google document. So when the students click on it, they go straight to the Google document.
Yeah, this way it lessens the confusion for them and they're able to just access it immediately. And we also put together like a little journal, since it's like, you know, a live experience artifact that they're going through right now. We put together a little journal called a COVID journal. So each day they can write their thoughts in it, how they're feeling, what's happening in their life, how is it affecting them, how is it affecting their families, and we kind of check in with them on a daily basis through that as well. So Amanda and Marissa, there's a question in the chat. Is this a template that you created?
I think Katie, Katie Ramirez, one of our colleagues, right, Marissa?
Yeah, she shared it with me, and then, yeah, we tweaked it.
We made it fit what we needed.
Right.
But it's good to have a template. Do you see, like, it gives us, this is something that we would use anyway. We have a similar template on a Google Doc.
Right.
So this is like more user-friendly for parents and students. And if you can link wherever you want the students to go to this, it makes it easier. Mm-hmm.
Instead of them asking, where do I get it? How do I find it? I can't log in.
So Amanda and Marissa, is this something that you'd be willing to share? We have some interest in this template. Absolutely. If you'd like to share that as a resource afterwards.
Absolutely.
Great.
Yes, I think it's shared on the document as well.
Right. We can share it, then you give us permission to send that.
Yes, we give you
absolutely. Permission. Thanks.
And we can go to the next slide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so these are some of the tech tools that were working for us that we've started playing around with and implementing. One of them is Epic Books. So I've been playing around with that a little bit. It allows you different novels, different like nonfiction, fiction. You can kind of hone into their lexile level, and it goes by different skills, different interest books. So I've been playing around with that for a little bit, and it seems like a great tool. I've been using it even more for my standalones to get started with them and my former L classes. So going to start with them and then hopefully move it to the integrated.
Yeah, the reason I like Epic is because rather than use ELA, because first of all, it reads it aloud to them, right, Marissa?
Yes, it does read it aloud.
Yes, and some of the material was at a lower reading level for our students. Like you can actually select it, and it was user friendly. It wasn't overwhelming like News ELA is.
Right.
So if you look at the format, it's very different. So that was one of the reasons.
The kids seem to really like it.
Yeah, the students love it. And we also use Screencastify so now this supports our students that have, their goal is that they have to have work read aloud to them.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see in this video, I go over the week's agenda. And by hearing my voice or Marissa's voice, it kind of just reiterates what they have to do, and they feel some sort of comfort in that.
All right, so I'm going to show a snippet of this.
If you want, yeah.
Or not.
Hi everyone, I really miss all of you. Miss Bunze and I talk every day about how much we miss you. So this is the week 30th, March 30th, I'm sorry. And for Mindful Monday, we would like you to consider all of our healthcare workers. It's actually Healthcare Appreciation Day. So write a letter, hold up a sign, take a picture with your family, a message for our healthcare workers. I've posted some examples for you on Google Classroom. For Tuesday, you're going to work in your blue workbooks, and you are going to pay attention to the trial of Tom Robinson. There is a graphic organizer, and it's based on the skill of fact versus opinion.
That's good.
You're going to learn how to make inference.
So awkward hearing myself.
We love your accent.
It sounds so good.
So as you see, we do this every week for them, and this supports all students. Right? I do this for my general education classes as well. So for my 2 periods that don't have E&L students in them, I still do this for them because it's good practice.
Mm-hmm.
And it supports all learners. The next tech tool, Marissa, I'll speak to Google Voice and you can
Sure.
speak to Flipgrid.
Perfect.
So we're having a few staff members feel uneasy about sharing their personal cell phone numbers. So I did a PD on Google Voice for them and posted the number on Google Voice. So Google Voice is an app that allows you to have a actual cell phone number, and students can text you on it from their computer. They can call you from their computer, and it's just a great way to stay in contact without sharing your personal number. And you can set a time of when you don't want to be disturbed, and it just gives another platform for them to reach out to you during this time. And we've had a lot of success with it.
Muted. Sorry, I was muted. So also another tool that we use is Flipgrid. We find this a great tool. So we give them a topic, whether it be a book response, and we have them log in through Flipgrid and kind of record themselves speaking about the topic. It takes care of the speaking component. Instead of having them always writing something, it takes care of the speaking component. So we usually we model it first with a Flipgrid with us, and then they get to see us speaking and listening to us, and then they respond.
So we can go to
Yeah, next slide, right?
slide. So some of the challenges, I'll speak to the first one. So it actually took me an hour last week using Proprio.
Amanda, we've lost your audio. Are you muted?
I didn't even do that. Okay, so I'll speak to the first one, the first bullet. Communicating with a newcomer last week took me an hour on using Proprio and trying to get that family to be able to get onto Google Classroom for all teachers. So all of the teachers, there were 5 different teachers, and they needed this one student to get onto their Google Classroom, and we couldn't communicate that to the family. What happened was the father was not spelling Babylon correctly. So the student wasn't able to get into his account. And no one could figure that out until I said to the dad to just take a picture. And I actually did, I gave my cell phone number, and they sent me the picture, and then straight away I could figure out that he was spelling Babylon incorrectly. Even though we were spelling it correctly in the text messages and, you know, in further communication, but that just shows communicating with our newcomer families is difficult. So kind of bridging that gap, we have to sometimes like step out of our comfort zone and help them out. So I did have to share my number and have that communication with them. But now that was solved, he's in all his classes. And I think, Marissa, you said the other day that he's the one that's completing the work, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He's doing it every day.
Yeah. So just having that initial, like spending that time and making sure that he is, you know, these families are taken care of is worth it. Bullet 2 as well, supporting our ENL students with special needs. A lot of our colleagues are reaching out to us, and you know, we're sharing that you have to use the tools given to you. So you have to record your lessons, you have to record yourself and put that out there.
Yeah. So, and then authentic assessments that we're using. So we're doing little projects with them. We were doing an animal unit. So we put together an animal research project with the different animal intelligences for them to research. We had a Google Doc where we submitted it for them where they could compile their research. And then we modeled and gave them visuals on how to construct it into Google Slides. So they did like a little live presentation with it. And giving them weekly little quizzes or assessments based on the skills that they're learning throughout the week, but not trying to overwhelm them. Short little quizzes.
Mm-hmm. And I think it is a lot to communicate with students on a daily basis. Like we're forever going back and forth. It takes a lot of time, and documenting everything in all these in a phone log and with the guidance counselors, and now we have a running records of so there's 3 different places that we have to document our communication with students. And I think as districts come up with a better plan, we have to streamline that.
Absolutely.
And then tech issues, you know, sites are blocked, students can't get into certain sites, material, they can't access the material that you're posting. So you just have to be mindful of that.
Yeah, we're having some difficulty with that. They changed the way they get in for the online textbook now. So a lot of my students, I assign something with the online collections textbook, and a lot of them are not doing the work because they're having trouble still logging in. So that's been a bit of an issue.
And being mindful that PDF pages change when you upload a PDF, and what you see might not be the page that the students are seeing. So just be mindful of those little nuances.